Hi, your local dragon lady here with an episode of YuGiOh Historica. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the tournament packs. People really seem to like these discussions. Now, I have done two more about the packs as a whole, and I did do a video about the entire collection, well, the entire Season 3 set. So if you want to take a look at those, go to the description below. But today I want to be talking a little bit about the second season now. Unfortunately, I do not have the full set from this, but I do have a card in my possession that is basically the highlight, not just of the set, but for Yu-Gi-Oh collectors in general, and that is the Morphing jar. This is the TP2-001. So I might as well get this out of the way first. No, this card does not belong to me. Now, I do have my own Morphing jar. Not the same one though, it's the super rare reprint from TP4. But this card belongs to a friend of mine, and he's allowed me to use it for this discussion. Now, Morphing jar, this is the first English printing of this card. So I guess that's why it was a big deal. Plus the effect. If this card is flipped, both you and your opponent discard all cards in your hands, draw 5 cards from your respective deck. So this was not only good for mill decks, but this was also a card featured in the show. Baccarat used this in the shadow duel he had with Yugi, where his friends were, their souls were transported into cards. So this was a dangerous thing to go against. Now, the ultra rare in season 1 was the Mechanical Chaser. Now that was highly sought after, being a level 4 vanilla monster with 1850 attack. I know that sounds strange, but it really was a huge deal back then. But the Morphing jar, I think it was just extra special because of being in the show, and it had a crazy effect. It could be really bad for your opponent because they could have a real good card in their hand and it's gone to the graveyard. But it can be good for you too, because, for example, if you were to draw a brick and you lay this guy down, well, once he's flipped, you get to draw a whole new hand. And back then, we didn't have a lot of options like that when it came to digging deeper into your deck. Like, we did have Pot of Greed, we did have Graceful Charity, and we did have Cyber Jar. But look where those ended up. We can't have they were limited to 1 back then because it was a limited list, but now to the ban list, like, they are gone. And trust me, if Konami is smart, they are not coming back. But Morphing jar, this was limited to 1, and I think it did get banned afterwards, but now it's back. So you can definitely use this one now. So I guess you're kind of curious about the condition of this card. This card is in really good condition. I do not want to divulge on the monetary value that this particular one has, but I will say that when it comes to collectors, it's very, very high sought after. Now, the ultra rares are always sought after when it comes to these tournament packs, but the Morphing jar, for some reason, has just jumped in status. Because Mechanical Chaser, that's not worth nearly as much as a Morphing jar. Same thing with Needleworm. Needleworm has gone up, and I do have one in my collection, the ultra rare. But Morphing jar, holy moly! Now, probably what's the highest that a Morphing jar TP001 could go? Well, by doing some research online, if the card was graded, I think with Becker. If you were to get it officially graded with a perfect 10 rating, it can go for $10,000+ at auction, which to me is just insane. Now, I'll say this is not near that amount, but it's still a lot. I'm just going to say that much. So I just thought that was very interesting. And besides, like, when else am I going to get a chance to talk about this card? Because yeah, because I only got it in my possession temporarily, just for this video purpose only. So yes. So does any of you out there have your own tournament pack cards? Do you have any highlight cards that that you find really interesting, or just have a bizarre amount of value to it for some weird reason. Let me know in the comment section below, and as always, remember to be a good sport. Play the game, not the fame. See ya.